All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today, I'm going to be reviewing book number 3 in Mark Lawrence's Broken Empire series, and book number 3 is titled Emperor of Thorns. Now, perhaps you saw my review of book number 1, Prince of Thorns, and my other review of book number 2, King of Thorns. If you want to watch those videos, just type into your YouTube search bar my last name and the title of either one of these books, and the video review will magically appear upon your YouTube screen. That's how the internet works, everybody. All right, let's talk about Emperor of Thorns, and let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. So this has another great cover. The same artist that did the cover of books 1 and 2 did the cover of book 3. And I forgot the name of the artist. Maybe I should look that up here. It looks like the artist was Jason Chan. That's correct. I remember that now. Odd that I would remember it now, right after having read it in the page. So anyway, he did all 3 books. The covers look dope together. It looks cool. I like each cover. When you put the series spines out on your bookshelf, it just looks really nice on the shelf. So we've got to give Ace Books a A+ job on the covers, cover design, and the overall packaging of the series. Thumbs up! Let's talk about the world itself. There is a map of the world. We always need a map in our fantasy books. And we've got this map here. It's kind of like a sort of a post-apocalyptical Europe is where the setting is. So this series actually quite reminds me of, and I will pull it down here, quite reminds me of Gene Wolfe's Shadow of the Torturer, like the Book of the New Sun series, where it's set in a post-apocalyptical Earth where there's some remnants of our technology just sort of still floating around, remnants of our literature still floating around. I mean, they quote the Bible and Shakespeare, the characters do, and different other bits of literature. Sometimes they find different technological things just lying about that they can use in their wars and things like that. Or they can use as weapons or just oddities that they find and they wonder, what the hell was this for? Anyway, so Jorg Ancrath is our main character, and in books 1 and 2, he's not a very good person. In fact, he might be the most objectionable character in the entire history of the fantasy genre. It's just if you're a fan of the genre and you've been following the genre at any length of time, you know that Jorg Ancrath is just a bad kid. And he starts out as a kid in book 1, like a little kid. And he's a bad little kid. And he kills and does a lot of bad things to a lot of people. And then in book 2, that carries on. He's a little older. But now in this book, he's 21. And he is married to Miana, his wife, who's pregnant now. And she's not even a really nice person herself. And from the very opening pages of the book, we just fall right into the effortlessly brutal and beautiful and haunting prose that Mark Lawrence is known for. He's just one of the best new fantasy writers out there. I mean, I guess we can't call him new now. He's been around 10 years or something. I think this book came out in, 10 years ago, let's just say that. So the book is told from the first-person perspective of Jorg Ancrath, our main character. And if you read the first 2 books and you're reading this one, you already know what kind of a dude he is. He's just not a nice guy. We've also got, though, which is new to this, is when we get some of the story told from the perspective of another character named Chella. I think I'm I'll spell it correctly. You let me know if I'm saying it incorrectly, but it's spelled Chella. Cella, kind of like Hella. I use that word a lot, Hella. Hella and Cella is hella cool. Cella is perspective. Well, now this person's a mystery, not only to me as the reader, but to other characters in the book, and plays a part in the very controversial ending, which I won't get into. But this ending kind of splits readers a little bit. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm not going to say anything more of it than that. But Jorg Oncroft, in this book, he's still the revenge that he seeks against his father has not yet been finalized, so we've got that to deal with. He's haunted by demons of his past. He went from prince to king to now. Does he want to be emperor? He realizes this might not just come down to him being a badass and killing everybody in his way. You know, that everybody that's in his way usually just gets killed. Well, now he's like, well, now I've got to be kind of a statesman, like a politician. This might come down to a vote of the people. And, what does he do? Because people know who he is and about his brutal past. And is he going to rely on, what does he rely on? I mean, does he bring, so the lost technology of this world that he lives in, does he plan on using that to gain power? Because he's kind of figured that out. And that's kind of where we sit with book 3. Can't really say a whole lot more about it other than because it does have an interesting ending. I liked the ending, but then again, I loved the ending of The Sopranos, which was just if you've seen The Sopranos and the ending, you know how that ends, and I like the ending of this too. I'm not saying that they're similar, I'm just saying that they're controversial and like different. But anyway, Emperor of Thorns, I gave book 1 a 10 out of 10, I gave book 2 a 10 out of 10, and I'm going to give book 3 a 10 out of 10. It's just one of the better fantasy trilogies that exists in our universe or whatever other multi-universe that you might be living in.